Mederio da Scenario, which I really want to pronounce that also like Mederio in Spanish. It's such a venerable mixologist at the Bebedero, a fantastic guy. We're going to be joined later in the show by Caroline Ward. She's the artistic director at Charlottesville Opera, and Brian Damaris, the conductor for this year's operas at Charlottesville Opera. So we were excited to talk to them as well. Taught some Tosca, taught some Guys and Dolls. So it's going to be a blast.
It's going to be fun. I was at their Emerging Artists concert Tuesday, and it was a lot of fun. Like the amount of talent that's out there. They had 350 singers try to audition, and they picked the best from them, and they really are the best. It was phenomenal just to be in a small enclosed space with their just their talent was amazing. Wow. So yeah, that sounds
amazing. So we're really excited about that.
And looking forward to a lot
at the end of the show. We're going to have, at long last, our giveaway. So many people have entered over the last couple weeks. So we have a nice big bowl. I mean, I saw you cutting up those names.
Yeah, I should cut them up bigger.
There's a lot of names.
There's a lot of names.
There's a lot of names in the little bowl that we have here.
Just so that the audience knows, you have up until I was going to put a hard limit of when the Charlottesville Opera comes on the show. That is the hard limit. You can still enter. I'll be monitoring. I'll write your name.
Wow, you're good.
Last minute. Just go to follow the accounts and tag two friends in the comments and on Today Manana's Instagram, and I'll be generous and get you in. But
he's such a nice guy. If it were up to me, it would have closed like at 11:59 p.m. last night. But Nick
I caught Alex sticking his own name, like a stack of his own name in the bowl.
I mean, the items in this giveaway. I mean,
they're too precious.
You got tickets for Charlottesville Opera. You got the two VIP tickets to Tasseville Ciders 231 Fest. You got a $100 gift card, two $50 gift cards to local businesses, Guajiros Auto, thanks to Matias Young Realty. I mean, there's so many things.
A bag of coffee by Tyga. I mean, I love it. And two pizzas.
I was telling everybody I knew. Everybody I knew to enter, because I'm like, I want them to win this way. Maybe they can share some of that. Yeah, they can take me out for pizza or to Guajiros. They can take me to the opera to see Guys and Dolls. I mean, like, they take me to 231 Fest.
Yeah.
I was like, yes.
So, which is happening this weekend.
This Sunday.
Saturday.
I mixed up which day. This Saturday it is happening. So be sure to go to that. And you can still get tickets. We'll talk about all that stuff coming up. So it's going to be great. Be sure to like and share the show this morning. We have a lot to cover. I think Judah probably has us all set up and ready to go.
Are we ready to rumble?
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Today y Mañana. I'm Alex. This is Nick. We're very excited to have you joining us this morning. The smoke from the fires has definitely reached Charlottesville this morning, so it's a smoky morning here at Charlottesville.
It's a perfect day
so definitely, it's a perfect day for. I was gonna say a Café Con Leche, but it's really also a perfect day for some Castle Hill cider, which is what we have in front of us. So I think now that Mederio has made this amazing cocktail, which is sitting in front of us, which we'll talk about shortly. Café Con Leche isn't even on my mind anymore. As soon as I saw it, I'm like, this is what I want this morning.
Yeah, right.
So it's a perfect morning for that. We do, of course, our prayers are for all the people in Canada that are indeed suffering from the actual fires. Right. I mean, we've got the smoke, but they have the actual wildfires up there. Right. So please keep them in your prayers that they help, that those fires can be managed and not too many more people lose their homes or beautiful, beautiful land up there and trees. So be sure to keep them in your prayers. We have a great show lined up for you this morning. At the end of the show, of course, is going to be our giveaway. Nick says you actually have until Charlottesville Opera comes on. So until you see Caroline and Brian in these seats between Nick and I, you still have an opportunity.
You have a chance.
You have a chance to win $700 worth of giveaway prizes. And literally all you have to do is go to the Today Mañana Instagram, like the post, like any of the giveaway posts, really. Follow the accounts listed and tag 2 friends. You don't actually even have to subscribe to like an email list where you're going to get a bunch of stuff, but you should still go to CastleHillCider.com and Charlottesville Opera. I believe it's charlottesvilleopera.com. Let me double check that. Charlottesville Opera's website. You should go there. .org. Charlottesvilleopera.org. You should still go to those
Alex
2 websites and
rusty.
learn more. I was on honeymoon for 2 weeks, so
Yeah,
a little
no,
rusty.
it's a bit rusty.
You should still go to charlottesvilleopera.org and castlehillcider.com to learn more about all the amazing events that we're going to be talking about today. So we're going to be joined very shortly by Josephine Carr, Director of Retail Operations at Castle Hill Cider, as well as Medario Venable, mixologist at the Bebedero, and later in the show by Carolyn Wara, Artistic Director at Charlottesville Opera, and Brian Damaris, Conductor for Charlottesville Opera. So we have a great show lined up for you. Of course, we always love being here on the I Love Seville Network set. Some shout-outs, a big thank you, of course, to being presented by Emergent Financial Services and powered by our good friends at Castle Hill Cider, Charlottesville Opera, Matias Sion Realty, Credit Sirius Insurance, and Forward Adelante, the premier Latino networking group here in Charlottesville, Virginia. So it's a great show lined up today. I'm really excited for it. Be sure to like and share. Send us any questions, comments. Johnny Ornelas, amigo del programa, already liking and sharing the show, saying keep up the good work. Johnny Ornelas, muchísimas gracias, mi amigo. He's a great guy. Of course, he got he co-owns. You've got El Mariachi. El Mariachi at Zion's Crossroads and the Guadalajara that you can find on Fontaine. So be sure to check those out. He's a great friend of the program. So this is going to be a fantastic
I was going to
one.
say also good morning to Ricardo Cruz Duran, who says excited for the show.
How could you not be?
Yeah, we're all excited.
We are all excited for today's show. So I don't know about you. I'm ready to jump right in for today.
Ready, yeah.
Let's do it. So we're excited to welcome to the show this morning Josephine Carr. She is the Director of Retail Operations for Castle Hill Cider, and Medario Dasanerio, Venerable, mixologist at the Bebedero. Josephine, Medario, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Hello.
We are happy. We are really excited to have you both here to talk some of our favorite things. So which is, Castle Hill 231 Fest, the Bebedero. So first off, Josephine, I'm going to have you you've been on before, so I'm going to have you tell us a little bit about maybe the origin of 231 Fest.
Absolutely.
We talk about it. And then Medario, I'll have you introduce yourself and say maybe how you first got interested in mixology, so you can decide who wants to go first.
I can start.
Yeah.
Actually, funny that you said El Mariachi, because a few weeks ago, we ran into each other in a parking lot at El Mariachi. I was like, is that you? So my name's Josephine. I'm a Director of Retail Operations at Castle Hill Cider. I do all things fun, and not so fun, but but the 231 Fest, absolutely fun. We came up with last year, 231 is Route 231, which is about 20 minutes outside of Charlottesville. And we really wanted to create a festival that highlighted our area of town and showed all that we had to offer. But we also wanted to have a philanthropic aspect of it. So we partnered with the Blue Ridge Food Bank and made that our benefactor. And last year we were able to provide 68,000 meals. So what the 231 Fest is, it's all about community. It's kid-friendly, it's dog-friendly, as long as you keep them on leash, talking about the dogs.
Right, yeah.
But we have craft beverage vendors, so when you buy a ticket, that includes complimentary tasting from all of our craft beverage partners.
Wow.
So you have beer, you have wine, you have cider currently. We actually have some honey tastings as well from Thistle Rock Meadery.
That's
up and coming as well, and that's awesome. We have a whole entire shopping experience with non-alcoholic vendors. I'm talking jewelers, chocolatiers, we have glass blowers. There's just so much going on. And then we have live music from local bands. We have 3 different local bands. We have 6 different food trucks. And we have the SPCA there as well with dogs for adoption that day. And we have a whole kids area for the kids as well. And then we have a whole VIP area if you're a VIP ticket holder. And that's the quick synopsis. There's clearly a lot going on this year. We have over 45 businesses participating with us in this festival. So it's very, very exciting. If you buy 1 ticket to our festival as a general admission ticket, you provide 64 meals. If you buy 1 VIP ticket you provide 114 meals.
That's amazing.
So
Incredible.
you do good,
And, get to
and you
a
have
lot
a
of fun.
great
Yeah,
time.
while doing
yeah.
it.
Is that tied into the price? Because I noticed that the VIP ticket isn't at $114.
Yeah, so for every $1, it feeds 4 meals
Interesting.
through the food bank.
That's
And
so
so we have our wonderful sponsors this year. We have a few of them, just to mention, a lot of them, just to mention a few: Allied Concrete, Bank of America, Malloy, Story House Real Estate. I could go on and on. There's so many. Marigold, John George. When they give a sponsorship, a direct donation goes to the food bank immediately. So before we even start our ticket sales, we have actually
Wow.
already matched last year's numbers, which is incredible.
That's
so
amazing.
cool.
Awesome.
But yeah, we're excited to feed more people. So, and people don't realize that in June, which is obviously when the festival is, this Saturday, 12 to 6, is actually one of the hungriest times in our area because kids are out of school and people are very food insufficient.
yes.
But it's the lowest time for donations because donations typically happen in Thanksgiving and Christmas
time,
and on the
right.
holidays because that's when people are really thinking about others. But this is the time that they really need donations. So they partner with us and we partner with them because we were like, this is perfect then. Let's
awesome.
feed the community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's
You
really
do
neat.
good and have a great time.
And I love the fact
Exactly.
that you've
While
already
doing it.
matched last year. Just before it's even started. That must feel
it's
awesome.
so yeah, it feels so awesome. I mean, I'm hoping we break 100,000 meals this year. That would be really, really cool.
We're gonna
That
do
would
it.
be
We're gonna do it. That's part of why we're on today, right?
Yeah.
Jane Tarter-Green, thanks for watching the show this morning. Love it. Love everyone joining us. Ricky Goodwin Jr., thanks for watching this morning. So, Madario, first time having you on board. Tell us a little bit about yourself, how you first got interested in mixology, how you got connected to 231 Fest.
I actually met Josephine at Marigold.
Yeah.
Working at Marigold, I made some cool cocktails for her, and she liked it, and we took off ever since.
Yeah.
How I got into mixology, I always watched it on TV, and I had family members that was into the scene, and I always grew up wanting to be, a bartender and a trick bartender extraordinaire
Yep.
and whatnot, and thus here I am now.
I mean, he's being humble. When I say he puts on a show, it's not even funny. I mean, he spins and he's shaking all these things and things are on fire and there's bubbles. And
sizzle
I'm
with
like,
the sauce.
where am I? I feel like I had to pay a ticket just to see him at the bar.
I probably would pay attention just to see him at the bar.
So when we were building the VIP experience, which is awesome, you get an hour entry early to the festival. You get a swag bag that's full of merch, valued way over $200. It's really awesome. Marigold is curating the whole entire loft upstairs. They're doing a cocktail, a rosé pour, which are complimentary with your ticket, food grazing table, and a taste of their signature tuna tartare. But then we have an outdoor tent, and I immediately, right when this started, I came to him and I said, "Can Madario please put on a show at my festival?" Because he's just, not only is it a show, but he also connects with people really, really well. And he really is like the true meaning behind a story behind a drink, or that bartender that you can, he probably knows too much about my life, but he probably knows too much about everyone's life because he really brings that comfort and that fun aspect. We brought him on board and he was all about it, especially with the cause. And we have him making cocktails in the outside tent area as well as doing his, I call it a show because it really is an experience. And then we have Katie Faz doing live glass blowing. So the outside VIP tent is more of a show and an experience, and Madario's providing some of that. So.
Which is awesome. And we have one of his amazing
I was
cocktails just to give you a little taste and look.
Should we all hold
Of
it up?
what? Yeah, put it
I
up here.
probably will spill
I'm
it.
showing
That's
up
okay,
to
we're
the
gonna-
camera.
we're
So
gonna-
Madario, as we cheer,
There
I'm
we
going to
go.
do a long distance.
Yeah.
Salud.
Salud.
Salud. As we taste this, tell us a little bit about this creation here.
Okay, so to start off, the cider is a ginger cider from Castle Hill,
OG.
OG. You like it?
So
That's great.
That is
I thought something light and refreshing, something fun also. Not too sweet, but something super fun, thank you. So the rim is actually ginger snap cookie crumbles with chocolate as well. Also use lychee nectar, which is super light, fun ingredient to use, especially in the summer, and lemon. So
Yeah,
It's a
that's
great
perfect.
combination.
Yeah,
So good.
It's really
That's
good.
so good.
Nice little
That's so
outdoor
good.
martini-ish.
Yeah, that's amazing. It just shows you the versatility of what you can do with cider as well.
For sure.
You know, because I know there's going to be a couple cider-based.
Cocktails, yeah.
Cocktails
Castle
that you
Hill
can
will
look
have their
forward
own
to.
as well. So there'll be a lot of cider-based cocktails,
Yeah.
which are always the most exciting to me because it's like some of them too are you'll taste them. I'm like, does this have something else besides cider in it? Like, there's no way.
It's interesting.
But yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
it's
magic.
amazing. It really is.
Yeah.
That's magic, and the lychee just like
Balances everything
balances it out
Yeah, it
nicely.
does.
You know, although the OG cider always I thought was fantastic is it's not quite your. It avoids the completely overwhelming like ginger beer thing where you taste. Sometimes ginger beer you have it and like my sinuses
Fills it.
get cleared out. I'll use it like instead of allergy medicine. It's like.
Yeah.
There it
But
is.
it's-
Memories start coming back to
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, exactly. But the Castle Hill OG cider is just like a nice touch
Yeah.
of it without being too overwhelming. So it's just beautifully done.
Now, I have a question for Materio. What flavor, so obviously when you were going through, did you have a choice of which Castle Hill you could use to make a,
Yeah, she gave me
Cocktail
a couple fun options to choose from, and I was just like, I mean, I feel like ginger would have been the least one to use, so I was like, let's try that one.
so you're going for the challenge.
A little
Now,
bit
what,
of a challenge, yeah.
and what flavor profiles like just jumped at you when you, like, was it interesting for you, a different experience given that it was cider?
Not really. I love the basis. The ginger part was interesting. I never had ginger cider before, so I thought it would be cool to like have fun with that, especially with lighter ingredients being that it's summertime.
Yeah.
Light and refreshing, you know.
He tells me, he
mix.
goes, I'm the flavor master. And I'm like, okay.
Somebody's gotta
Like,
do
so
it.
he-
Oh, he is.
Somebody's
He was
gotta
like,
do
he
it.
was like, immediately when I had ginger, I thought this and I thought that, and I was
Yeah,
just like,
immediately.
this is why you are here.
Right, no,
You
perfect,
know, like,
yeah.
it's amazing.
But that's what you want, the flavor master.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
It was a fun challenge, though.
And he has another cocktail too that he's gonna have at his booth. So
Okay, so that's the surprise.
Yeah.
that we're gonna hold
Man,
off
so you have
on,
so
yeah.
many options to look forward to. You even get little surprises, things that even we won't reveal here on the show. You're just gonna have to go
Yeah.
to 31 Fest to
Indeed.
find
Oh, there's
that
so
out.
many things that like I haven't even mentioned or like I'll probably forget to mention. Like there's free fly fishing classes in our pond.
No
and
way.
You can fish our pond, which we never allow. We have a concrete touch truck for the kids that are coming, so they can go see a cool. There's so many
That's
little
so
things,
many
and I'm like,
things to
so just
do.
show up and discover
Exactly, and enjoy.
and feed people.
Exactly,
Yeah.
it's precisely. So Madera,
It's
so
nice that you're giving so much in
Yes.
in response.
That's a
Like there's
routine.
so many things going on at 231. It's like an all day. You spend all day there.
That's
And not
our
do
hope.
everything.
Yeah.
that's the goal.
It is fun in Castle Hill.
Yeah,
It
it's
is,
amazing.
you know, and there's always a beautiful spot to hang out at and see, and there's going to be a great energy. You know, and there's so many people come out, so it's always like fun to
And the
just.
food's great.
And the
Oh
food,
yeah,
that's
there's
Yeah,
so
it's really
many.
good.
There's lobster
Yeah.
rolls, oysters, pizza, twisted biscuit, which so like biscuits. We have barbecue, and we have a cake bar.
Just sliced cake bars coming back. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's
We've had them on the show. They're good.
Pepito's Simply Trending Catering Barbecue, Salty Bottom Blue Oysters.
Oh, Pepitos. Okay,
Yeah.
they're part of
Oh.
our giveaway as well.
There you
so,
go.
Oh, that pizza.
So if you win the giveaway,
They
you
put
can
on their
have-
own show too. I mean,
Oh,
they have like
they
the
do.
Dough Boys out. Like,
Oh,
They're
they're
good.
great.
I'm
yeah.
so excited to have them.
That's awesome. Clara Kasha, thank you so much for
hey.
loving the show this morning. Clara, Greer Kelly Achenbach, liking the show this morning. Thank you for watching. Elizabeth Erpy, with a Z, watching the show this morning. Mrs. Elizabeth Erpy, watching the show. So thanks you all for joining us. So, Materio, tell us a little bit about, I'm curious, what's kind of, you strike me as a man who's also like, in addition to knowing probably all the classics, you invent your own cocktails, your creative mind. What's kind of your approach, like when thinking of a new cocktail to work on? Like what kind of, how does it even begin?
You know, I guess with modern day mixology, people do a lot of riffs off the old classics. So I try to do riffs off the old classics, and then base off of that.
Yeah.
So anything fun and funky that you haven't seen before, and ingredients like superfruits like jackfruit and things like that. I try to go in and try to include into the new cocktail. So
Which is neat, and it works beautifully. 'Cause you don't often. It's always fun. 'Cause you're saying, okay, here's something I've never tasted before, but mixed in a way that might be slightly familiar to me.
Right.
But it's been spiced up.
yeah, it's also great working with chefs. So you learn different palettes and ingredients to use and things that pair well together and whatnot. So
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. So, each of you, got to know from each of you, what's one of the things? It can be more than one. I don't like to box people into one thing. But what are some of the things you're most looking forward to for 231 Fest?
You know, I like to talk a lot, so I'm like,
Oh, you can name as many as you want. That's why I hate boxing people into one thing. You
Honestly,
can be-
the thing I am most excited about is just to see the reaction from the community of how much we've grown just from 1 year. And I like creating memories for people. That's why I like my job, you know. So I just am excited to see all the memories created there, all the people, you know, you meet new people at festivals and you're doing good. Like, I'm just excited to see people happy. That is my job. My job is to make people happy and to create experiences for people
I agree.
that contribute to their life. You know what I mean? And I feel like that adds value. And again, like, we're feeding people.
It's a
We're really
good-
doing
exactly.
something good. So it's not only like from the customer interaction, but it's far beyond that to the rest of the community. And so that's honestly, even if it's corny, it's just really real for me. It's going to be very, very exciting. There's a lot of things to do. And I think it's also cool that I think the demographic is really going to expand because we've really touched on something for everybody.
Absolutely. What about you, Medelio?
I agree. I piggyback off that. I just like the aspect of everybody coming together, using their talents and special abilities to come together, fun, and to feed over 100,000
Hopefully, yeah.
people.
yeah.
Hopefully,
Oh, it's gonna
We're
happen.
close, we're close.
It's gonna happen. I mean,
Yeah.
My friend joked, she was like, just go on the show and just say, you're a bad person if you don't buy a ticket. And I was like, I am not going to say that.
Create a positive experience.
She was like, if it's
Shame
so
on
easy
you.
to feed people, people should just buy it. And I was like, that's my thought, but you can't say that.
but Nick can say it for you.
It's the job. Yeah, you're horrible if you don't.
No.
No, but like that's the point. Is like you want to create a positive experience in response to doing something great. Like
Yeah.
it's feel good. It's very immersive. I mean, and I think that's part of what makes me jump out, especially about like a cocktail like this, is that it's very immersive. Like you just so how do you decide when a cocktail is done? Sorry to go back to the cocktails, but like because I'm wondering because you could have just called it done at lime juice and I just replaced it with Castle cider and put the ginger around.
I feel like doing this a while, you just kind of know when it's finished, when it's like a start to finish as far as flavor profiles. So, if something is missing, it kind of tells a story from as soon as you sip it to as soon as it's done. So I feel like in each cocktail, at least what I make, it's like an adventure or a trip. So from start to finish. So
I like that.
yeah,
That makes sense. Yeah, I like
The
writing
narrative
short
aspect,
stories.
yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
like writing.
Pretty much
And
in a cocktail.
When you're writing, when you're telling a story, there really isn't a formula to know when to end.
Yeah.
Right? Because there's always another sentence you could add or something. But at some point, you just kind of know.
Yeah.
Like, okay,
That's
the
just
story
enough.
has ended.
Yeah.
So we have a comment from one of the viewers that says, "Where do you get the inspiration for your drinks?"
I think it depends on the moment and the time and the placement and like what you're doing it for, I feel like as far as this, people want something fun, something they haven't seen before, something light, creative, something they can walk around and be like, oh, hey, look what I got, to pair with the cakes and pizza and whatnot. So yes, that's what my inspiration was for this event, something fun and funky.
So what would you pair this with? Pizza or cake or?
Definitely the cake.
Yeah.
The cake.
For sure.
Or even oyster. I feel like it'd be
Yeah,
really good with like
oyster.
fresh
yeah.
like fish and oysters.
Yeah.
Oh, because they're oysters. Salty Bottom is
Yeah,
returning.
Salty
Oh,
Bottom's
their
there.
oysters are.
They're so good.
I feel like that's a cocktail you can like pair with multiple things throughout the day. So
It's light, it's fun,
it's
especially
just
on a
something
hot
light.
day.
Yeah, for sure.
The weather's gonna be great, which is
Oh, it's gonna be
good.
nice. I think the temperature is
It's gonna be in the 80s.
in 80s,
low
so not
80s.
too not too unbearable. And there's a VIP tent that you can do the tent.
We have it indoors too. We have air
It's
conditioning.
indoors, air conditioned,
Yeah.
exactly. So you can go in and out. It's kind of like the beach. You can cool off.
Yeah, exactly.
And then go out and get warm, and then go
Exactly.
inside and cool off, and then get a drink,
Yeah.
a cocktail, and cool off.
The outdoor tent will be fun though.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's going to be the
Tent
place.
sounds like the place to be.
That's
Yes,
going to be the
sir.
place to be. That's going to be the place to be. So thank you to Carolina Furtado. Great question. Thanks for chatting. That Rosalia de Rosalia Trodaro watching the show this morning. Thank you for joining us.
Rosalia.
Liked the show. So I mean, this is going to be just so fantastic. And like you said, so remind us again. So Blue Ridge Area Food Bank is basically where the support going. Remind us again, what's the impact of like even so if you get one ticket.
One general admission ticket provides 64 meals. Wow. One VIP ticket provides 114 meals.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That's just a
And you get to have
huge
a
impact.
blast.
Yeah, while doing it.
It's a win-win. You know, you feel good and then you go have fun.
Exactly. And I think there's a certain joy to that you'll know that everyone else there, right, has contributed just like you.
Yeah.
So you're there and talking and meeting new people, making new friends with people who kind of share like, yeah, I wanted to do this to support the food bank, and two, to have a great time.
Yeah.
At Castle Hill, enjoying this, the beauty. It really, I think Castle Hill is a place that really encapsulates all that's beautiful about Charlottesville, right? The landscape, the
It's
people,
gorgeous.
the craft. Really, I think we have a great craft industry here,
Mm-hmm.
in so many areas. Like you said, beer, wine,
And this is going to highlight all that as
honey.
well, which is
I mean,
awesome.
so many
Yeah.
different areas. Cocktails.
Indeed.
I mean, I think there's a great atmosphere here that there's great people like yourself that really kind of take pride in saying, I'm gonna be creative and interesting and, like you said, funky with my cocktails. I'm not just gonna, all right, here I'm gonna churn out the basics. Like there's an appreciation for that here, I think,
Indeed.
that I have found.
I was like, you said the word, like, when you said community, I was like, I feel like that's also why immediately I was like, Madero is perfect for this experience, because for me, he really is the community bartender. You know, when I talk about Bebedero now, people are like, oh my God, there's this one guy behind the bar, like spins, and like, he's so cool. I think his name's like, Meh. And I'm like, oh my gosh, Madero, you know?
Madero.
So, and when I first moved here, the closest like restaurant to me was where he worked at. So that was my sense of the end of the day and a bit of community. I was like, this is a community event. Everyone knows your name in the community. He's up for Seville's best bartender right now, so definitely vote for him.
Also, best
really?
season.
Yeah, go vote.
But yeah, so I was like, perfect. So like, community man, community event. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
No, it's perfect.
That's
yeah.
what you want.
Yeah.
That's what you want. And
Now remind us also when does the door like open?
So if
for
you're a
the-
VIP ticket holder, it's 11 a.m. For general admission, it's 12 p.m. and it goes until 6 p.m.
Okay, just so everyone has a good idea, like you can, and if you're a VIP, you can start partying earlier.
Yeah,
That's basically
exactly,
it. Make sure
exactly.
you
And
get
there's a
there and
schedule
start.
for VIP as well.
Right.
You'll get a festival map. Everyone gets a festival map. You get your own glass, branded tasting glass when you arrive. Obviously,
Nice.
those tastings are involved in your ticket. You get access to the live music and all the good things there. But yeah, the VIP has a few scheduled things in Marigold. So because they food safety, so grazing table from 11 to 2, and then their tuna tartar tastings from 3 to 5. The rest of the experiences will continue up there. So.
Wonderful.
I mean, so many things to do. It's almost like, I'd say overwhelming if it weren't for the fact that there's enough time.
We
to
want to
do
make
it
your
all.
ticket worth it.
Exactly.
You know? So-
Like it's so much. You're like, wow, did I really fit all in? But then you're like, yeah, it's
Well,
11.
what's nice is
yeah.
that I love that you have it scheduled such that like it's very organized and that so nobody has to feel overwhelmed. There's
so many
there's
things
plenty
to
of
do.
time to do these things, but it's also done in a very safe way and like it's organized so like you know the tuna's tastings gonna be 3 to 5. You're not gonna look at your watch and miss it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just the sign that like you put something you very curated, very meticulously taken care of something. That's that.
I mean, I will say also, I mean, for the VIP for Marigold, I mean, they're just next level for us locally.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be real. John George is a 3 Michelin star chef, you know.
Yeah,
He
I mean, no,
opened
that's
this
top notch.
restaurant. I mean, I was so excited. They were kind of like one of my dream collaborators for this event because I don't really see them yet working with the community. They're kind of still in their, they maybe do
Growing
it
and-
privately or whatever, but I haven't seen them kind of out and about and doing things. I was like, please come
It's,
do
yeah,
this.
it's
And
so awesome. Having heard so much about
I'm
it to see them
so
there.
excited that they're with us, and
I also think this is a great chance for like the average person to start being more exposed to the Michelin
Yeah, what's
star
out
food,
there,
like
yeah.
and
Yeah.
what's out there, and realizing that like it's not you know, you always hear about like the way the food is, or like it seems like it's another world that's out of reach, and it's not really. It's something that you can get and relate to, and if you really love food, it's a great way to start being exposed to
Absolutely.
that kind of level of eating, to realize, I don't even know. I mean, Alex, you probably didn't even
different
know
flavors.
that we had our marigold.
To be honest,
Not until I told you.
yeah, exactly. You told me.
Yeah, we didn't, and it's not something you think of. You wouldn't think that in Charlottesville you'd have a satellite for a 3 Michelin star.
I consider
Chef.
it traveling in your area when you
Right.
try like new places, or let's say a different kind of cuisine. It doesn't necessarily have to be upscale. I'm like, let's travel in our area.
Yeah,
you know,
let's try something new.
Yeah.
Try something different, yeah, and see what Charlottesville has to offer. Yeah,
Opera, it's coming
Well,
next.
coming
That's
up.
what
Yeah,
that's what I've got on my mind. Yeah.
Bill McChesney, thanks for joining us, lighting the show this morning. Man, you guys are bringing in. You always bring in the people. You always
is
bring
that
in
it?
the great
Love it,
audience.
yeah.
The great audience. You'll be so. The easiest way, I think, to get tickets would be to win the giveaway, but only one person gets to do that. So for everyone who doesn't win the giveaway at the end of today's show, where's the right place to go to get tickets, learn more?
231fest.com. 231fest.com.
The easiest thing.
Very
That is
easy.
so easy.
And you can just click on tickets. You can read all about it. You can read about some of our vendors. You can learn more about the event. But yeah, you can buy your tickets. And we do have designated driver add-ons. Definitely drinking responsibly is something we want to push. And then we also have kids tickets as well that are add-ons. And the kids experience is awesome. Face painting, flower crown making. We have the touch truck, of course. We have apple painting. And then we have Aisling Flower Farm providing sunflower potting classes with like a story time as well. So lots of things for the
Two
kids
kids
to
to have
do.
it. I mean, I can't think of anyone, just especially like getting outside for your kids is so important.
Yeah.
And this is
Oh,
a great way
essential.
to have them do that.
Yeah.
And just enjoy nature, see the beautiful landscape around it, and have a lot of fun events and creative things. They can do things with their hands and learn new things.
And definitely, I mean, I would say there's no outside food or no outside alcohol, so don't bring any of that. But, bring a blanket, bring chairs, with the live music, because after you do your tastings, you might want to grab a bottle, watch live music, have your kids run around. I mean, the whole property sits on 650 acres right around the
There's a
barn. I
lot
think
of
you have about
space.
20 acres. Inside the barn's 10,000 square feet. You have a lot of space, so get comfortable, bring your blanket, bring your chairs,
And I'm going to say it's also great, and I know this is a more serious topic, but it's also great when children are exposed to adults having a positive relationship with alcohol, where they see how to do it properly, and to see them having fun,
Having a good
pairing it
time.
with food, starting to learn like about quality food and quality and supporting local businesses. Like that's really important for your children, because like children learn by observing their parents, and like if you're out there and you're showing how to appreciate cider and cocktails and like a really well done and doing it responsibly, like that's the best thing that they can learn. And so it's really great that they have their events, but they're also exposed, like this is a cidery, it's a place of alcohol, but it's not like it's not a hush hush terrible thing. It's a wonderful thing when you do it right, which is
Yeah.
what I mean. You guys always do it.
yeah, we're
right?
not
But
going to be at a
wonderful.
club,
Yeah, no, it's not. It's perfect. Yeah, it's great.
It's going to be awesome. And actually, it looks like Eva Rivera says just bought 2 VIP tickets.
Woo!
So excited. So someone just bought 2 VIP tickets. Great job, Eva.
Well, Eva just also entered for the giveaway. She's the last entry.
Well, maybe
for
she can
today.
get 2
you
more.
go.
So you
Yeah.
can, Eva, if you win, you
can bring some friends.
You
Yeah.
can bring some friends. Yeah, exactly.
Bring some friends. There you go. There you go. So, man, this has been just so fantastic. Just so excited. So, again, this Saturday, June 10th, from 12 to 6 for general admission, 11 to 6 for VIP. 231, the numbers, 231fest.com
Yep.
is the place to go. Josephine Mederio, thanks so much for
Thank
coming
you
on.
so
Thank
much
you
for
for having
having
us.
Hopefully we
Glad.
see you guys all at the festival. I know you guys
Yeah.
have a family matter to attend to, which I would say boo, but it's beautiful what you guys are doing. So,
It,
but
it killed us.
I know.
When MJ told us the
The
date of
date,
the
yeah.
festival, I'm
But
like,
listen,
no, we cried inside.
we try to get better every year, so next year is going to be even
Exactly.
better.
Next,
So.
next year, I'm just gonna like since my marriage is, I got married already and there's no other big things, I'm going to be like, I'm making no plans all of May and June.
I already have the
Just
date for next year, so I'll slip
Give
it.
it to me.
I'll slip it to
I'm gonna
you.
book
Yeah.
that thing in advance.
We have one last quick question before you go, Josephine. Ricardo Duran asked, sorry if I missed it, but will there be a bouncy house for kids?
No bouncy house
But there are
this
going to be a
year,
ton of other events.
But there's going to be a ton of other things for the kids. Again, face painting, flower crown making, a sunflower potting class, apple painting, and we have a concrete rotating touch truck, which is really fun. I didn't even know that was a thing for kids, but then they were like, we do it all the time for kids. So I was like, let's go.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
But yeah, so lots of things for kids.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome. Thanks so much for joining us, both of you.
Of course.
All right, so we're going to do a little swapperoo here. This is not the last you've seen of Josephine.
Yeah, Josephine
But,
will return.
We're gonna Josephine and Maderi are gonna swap out as we go to our second fantastic set of guests here.
Also,
while they do this,
while
is a
we're
good
doing
way
that,
to-
did you like?
Oh,
I don't
it's
know.
fantastic. This cocktail.
Oh, this
is
cocktail's
amazing.
amazing. But I'm gonna read out just so that everyone realizes, like, the full list of VIP that you get at Castle Cider is a festival swag bag valued at $200 plus. And you can bring your own swag, but the bag's got it too. Outdoor VIP tent that we heard about, a cocktail show from Miderio, air-conditioned loft lounge, curated experience by Marigold, as we heard, private bathroom and sweeping property views, grazing table sponsored by Kroger, a soft seating area near the festival stage. So that means that you're right up there with the music.
So
Isn't that
gonna be
great?
It's
Yeah.
gonna be great. It's gonna
Speaking of music,
Speaking of music and great music,
Yeah, the
amazing
best.
music, we are super excited to welcome to the show Caroline Wara, the artistic director, and Brian Damaris, conductor for Charlottesville Opera. Caroline, Brian, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Good to be
Thank you.
here.
Excited to be here.
So excited to have you
back,
both,
Caroline.
both here. And so for those audience members who maybe haven't met you yet on our show, tell us a little bit about yourselves and how you first got connected to Charlottesville Opera.
Well, I've always heard of Ashlon Festival Opera, which this company used to be Ashlon Opera, and then it became Charlottesville Opera, and there's 46 years. This is our 46th season. So I've always been in love with this opera company. They've always done one musical, one opera, so it's just such a great variety of music that this company's always done. So I was fortunate to begin here in 2021, right after the pandemic, and we were able to be one of the very first arts organizations to actually do a live show right after the pandemic.
Outside
of the Teen
yes.
Pavilion, so that worked out great. So last summer, we were actually able to have pretty much of a normal season again, back into the Paramount Theater, and so this is my third season here, and
That's awesome.
really, I love this community. I actually live in Connecticut, so I work there remotely throughout the year, and then I get to be here during
You
the
get to
summer.
come down. We always love when you come down.
Oh,
You
yeah.
come visit us here.
and it also means it's opera season.
That's right.
Exactly. Brian, how about yourself?
So I was here 18 years ago conducting outdoors at Ashlon Highland under the trees with the bugs and snakes and skunks and peacocks. And it was an adventure for artists for sure. So it's really great to be back here 18 years later and conducting indoors at the Paramount. When I was here, it was my first professional conducting job, actually. And I was noticing just last night on my own Facebook feed just how many artists got their start at this company outdoors, and it's still the case today. So many emerging artists getting started here. But I was actually here when the Paramount and the Jefferson were both being renovated, and the company realized they had outgrown the outdoor space and was looking for an indoor space. And I was here when the board and everyone was visiting both spaces. So the last I saw both theaters, they were completely gutted and hadn't opened yet.
So now you got to see the
Yeah.
have you've been able to practice?
Well, I went
rehearse
into the Paramount yesterday. This is really exciting. What a beautiful space
It's a
it's
beautiful
become. Yeah.
spot. That's going to be, and just a spot very suited to opera. It feels when you walk in, there's like, oh my goodness, it's like going into somewhat of an opera house. It has that kind of feel and sensation for it. So I think it's going to be fantastic.
Absolutely.
A great atmosphere. So tell us, I'm very curious and to know a little bit. The two big performances this year. We got Guys and Dolls on June 23rd, 24th, and 25th. And then, of course, we got Tosca by Puccini July 14th and 16th. Great, whoever designed the Tosca thing with the little Bloody Heart and the Sword. That was a nice
That's brilliant,
touch that
yeah.
gives you a little bit of idea
Brilliant, yeah.
what's involved, Tosca intrigue and excitement and so forth. But I'm curious, because each year, of course, there's that mix of the musical and the opera, the more classic traditional opera. What kind of drew everyone, or what are your feelings on Guys and Dolls? What excites you about it? What kind of draws you to it?
Well, one of our first events last summer, we were kind of talking to each other about different shows that people maybe really love or haven't seen, and actually both of these two choices, Guys and Dolls and Tosca, came up as ones that the company has never done. And so we thought, what a great way to start bringing some of these things. And the company has grown so much. They are two big shows that maybe hadn't been possible in the past. Guys and Dolls obviously has lots of dancing. And now, we've got such a wonderful relationship with Charlottesville Ballet. So we've got some, Casey Turner is our amazing choreographer. So, she's really upped our game as far as getting some real dancers in town. And she works with all of our emerging artists so that they look like professional dancers as well. And then Tosca also has, such a huge chorus, and the fact that we are also so lucky to have a beautiful space to be able to do that in. And people have always been afraid of doing something with such a big chorus, such a big important jump at the end of the show, and but now we feel that we are able to do that now,
which
as
is so exciting and so amazing to see something of the reputation as Tosca right here in Charlottesville with the amazing artists that you have at Charlottesville Opera. So that's just thrilling. Thrilling. Brian, how about yourself when you sort of approach something like the Dolls and Guys and Dolls? What's your feeling? What excites you about it?
For Guys, I conduct and play. I'm a pianist as well, and a teacher, and I work on musical theater and opera. I love both equally. What's interesting we're doing here is a 1950s musical, Guys and Dolls, all these 1950s pop songs, and it's really just like Tosca. When you conduct, you kind of have to step back in time and hear the musical world of that era, and Guys and Dolls is no different because it's been a long time since 1950s.
Yep.
But I love the music. The start of the overture of Guys and Dolls is just sort of the same thrills as opening chords, Scarpia chords of Tosca, and what the orchestra brings to both of those shows is really fabulous. And I love doing musicals with opera companies where we have the full orchestra. It's just incredible.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. It's just the talent that then you're able to bring to the musicals. Because I like the old movie, but I like that I've said every time, Marlon Brando probably has no business singing Luck Be a Lady, which is such a great song. So I'm looking forward to having it sung by talented singers.
Exactly. One of my favorite things actually is when opera companies do musicals, just like you're saying, because the quality of the voices. I obviously the movie's great. Yeah. But to have these, we have 4 professionals, big-time professionals coming in to do these main 4 lead roles, and they sing and act so beautifully, plus all of the incredible voices you were mentioning, the concert, Tuesday night. So you can just imagine all of those voices, plus community voices that are all joining together, so you can really do a big show like this up really right.
Exactly.
Do you have a favorite moment? So one of the things we were talking about with Leanne last time was like the story elements of especially both. Do you have a favorite moment that's not like a highlight that you see on the reel? Like we were talking about how Vista la Arte, everyone's always waiting for that moment. Is there a favorite moment in Guys and Dolls and Tosca that you feel like is underappreciated that you can't wait to see here in Charlottesville?
Do you have thoughts?
The dance music in Guys and Dolls, the dance tells a story, and that's what's fabulous about that show. We don't stop the plot for the dances, and it's interesting. We did West Side Story up at the 18 years ago up on the lawn. We had to cut a lot of the dance music, and it was really difficult because the dance tells a story in a musical, and to be indoors now and to have dancers not have to cut all of that, it's really incredible. And in Tosca, I think what's underappreciated is the whole second act for the soprano. which is really some of the hardest singing that there is, and it just gets more and more emotionally and physically intense, and they make it look so easy. And Caroline, I know you've sung this role, and I know you know how it goes, because it's so thickly orchestrated, and you got to move that thing, and I think the audience is so wrapped up in the story and the drama there that they don't realize really what the singers are going through to make it happen, like Olympian athletes.
Exactly. And I think, sometimes people think that they are either more of a musical theater fan or an opera fan, and maybe not both. But I think the thing that's great is, Guys and Dolls, you're going to come in and you're going to be, tapping along and snapping along, and hearing tunes that you probably know. With Tosca, I think you're going to be so excited to be immersed in a real, just drama-filled opera, and how fun it is to go to a beautiful theater like the Paramount and to just feel that huge orchestra and these huge voices. I think it's just an experience that everyone is going to really want to be part of.
Oh, absolutely. And the beauty of Tosca is that it's one of those ones, it's one of Puccini's more like grand scale ones. Because he has very famous ones like La Boheme that are more, maybe intimate is the right word. Like you're in a smaller story, but then you get Tosca that you are in a big story with a big, powerful plot, and you are going to be completely immersed in this thing. And he makes you feel it in the music. Like he reinforces, like this is a strong story and an emotional and a turbulent story.
So as a conductor, then, in that second act that we're talking about, right? This tense moment. What is your role in like with balancing the orchestra and the soloists? Because this stuff fascinates me endlessly. So I just would love to be able to hear your inside thought.
There's so much tradition in opera and there's a lot that's expected or demanded in the music that's actually not written. So the first part of it is making sure the orchestra knows kind of when to move, when to pull back. That's the first thing. But then as soon as the singers are there, it's really just being with them and supporting them. Caroline, the other day, we were talking about how you meet this new team when you come into town, you have to get the telepathy going. And it's a real thing when you're collaborating like that to develop that telepathy, that we all know what each other is thinking and feeling without speaking it, because we're just making the music. But the jump at the end of Tosca is so thrilling, but if the conductor isn't really thinking about, okay, how's she feeling tonight? Is she feeling safe? Is that, to be mindful of that so that you can be there and support the singer through that moment. Tosca is filled of all of that because it has the love and the jealousy and the violence and the rage and all of it there, and the conductor kind of has to be a little bit flight control, but also when they can tell the singers are ready to really go there, the conductor can as well. So.
That's gotta be exciting, yeah. And does some of that kind of happen? You can't plan for it, like it kind of happens as you're doing the live performance. You're like, okay, this is really going to take off right now, and I need to kind of go with that.
Exactly, and we're so lucky to have Brian here because he has worked with singers for so many years. To have he's so knowledgeable with the orchestra, but that his heart is with those singers too. and we can tell that as on stage, because there are times that you might look at the orchestra, at the conductor, and your eyes are bugging out of your head, and he knows what that means.
Yes.
He knows, okay, you need to push that a little bit, or I need to, Or the funny thing is too, in live, at the moment, you might forget a word, and the maestro might mouth it to you, and it's just great to have that relationship right there with that pit in front of you and the maestro in front of you. So
that has to be fantastic. Yeah,
must be fun to mouth in Italian, right?
I remember one dress rehearsal of Rigoletto, and the lead baritone Rigoletto decided he couldn't sing that night, and I got to sing the whole thing while I conducted through it, and it's a valuable lesson, but it's thrilling, and I'm not a singer.
Wow.
But it's the only experience I really had doing all of it together, and I wish I could do it more, but I'm really glad the singers stay healthy and perform, and no one has to listen to me.
You don't want to make a habit of it. Oh, that's amazing.
You just do the what was his name, Alan, that actor that just did Macbeth, all of just him alone in a room, just that one man performance.
That would be much.
Yeah, it's too much.
That would be a little much. So what are some of the great? I know you always bring in such amazing talent. What are some of the great stars we can be looking forward to in both these performances?
Right. Well, so right when we were trying to think about which shows we wanted to do this year, we came up with Guys and Dolls. The very first guy that came to my mind was Keith Fairs, and he is about as suave as it gets. And so he is our Sky Masterson, and
Yep.
it was so fun on Monday to hear the sing through, and he just fits right into it. So of course he's a very famous opera singer, but that trained voice. These trained voices that we get are able to do both. And so these are kind of the legit musical theater pieces that really call for an operatic voice. So he's about as smooth as it gets. So I'm really excited about him. And paired with him is Elise Quagliata, and she's a very famous mezzo. They've worked together, actually, many, many times. So it's nice that they've worked together so much over the years, so they have a really nice chemistry already.
Nice.
And the very, very, very famous Chauncey Packer is here as Nathan Detroit. So he is at the Met right now doing all kinds of things this season. So it's quite cool. This big Metropolitan Opera star, and then he's here as the cool Nathan Detroit. I know, it's really great. And he's paired with Cree Carrico, and she was also the one, like right away when I thought the perfect Adelaide is Cree. And it's kind of amazing because all four of these very famous opera singers have never done these roles before.
Wow.
And so they're having a blast just, getting to play these characters. So I'm thrilled about those
that's
four
gonna
right
be
away
awesome.
for Guys and Dolls.
That's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. And shout out, thank you, Don Whitaker, for watching.
Oh, Don Whitaker,
Yeah.
thanks for joining us this morning. Always fun to have you.
Can I ask an inside question about Tosca?
Yes.
Without giving away the ending, I know from what I read, there was always the question of whether Mario knows at the end what's going to happen. Are you playing it this year
Only
that he
Nick would
knows, or does he not know, or is that like the performer is going to decide?
You maybe have an answer to this, but right now we are still rehearsing Guys and Dolls. We haven't actually started. Our Tosca cast has not come in yet.
Oh, okay, interesting.
So it'll be
They're probably still thinking it's over.
it'll
Yeah.
be probably a really interesting thing with
Yeah.
our director, who will be. Our Tosca cast is also quite amazing. Marcia Thompson is going to be our Tosca. Adam Deagle is our Cavaradossi, and Todd Thomas is our Scarpia. They have done these roles many, many times. So I bet you that they already have maybe an interpretation that they have done in the past. But yet, that's the exciting thing when you bring people together to do these shows that have really never done these shows before together.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people think that maybe singers go and do the same role all across the country all the time. But they're going from one show to a different show to a different show, a different director, a different production, a different conductor. And so each time you are making new choices.
Yeah.
Yes, Tosca is written as it is, but there are little interesting choices that one can make, with the new dynamics of the new cast that you're part of.
Yeah, it's kind of new every time. That combination of singers with the conductor, right, and with everyone else, the orchestra, brings out something new each time that you go. Probably even each time you go see it.
Exactly.
Even each of these performances. How someone's feeling that day, what the weather is like. Might, if it's moody weather, you might get a little more, dramatic in it. There's just no telling what happens day to day.
Yeah, and that's live theater, because as a singer, we are up there, and maybe one day I look at the tenor and I was like, maybe we found something new, or, the rehearsal process is always the favorite part for singers because you can keep on experimenting with things, but certainly at that moment too, you just never know.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it. I think for anyone out there who has maybe seen a musical on TV, or if you've been to the Paramount to see one of those Met things where they do the recording of it, right? There is something to live music that I would really encourage you to take the next step. And come to either Guys and Dolls on June 23rd, 24th, 25th, or go see Tosca, or both. Or go see Tosca on July 14th and 16th, because there really is something very different about a live performance when you're there and you're feeling it and you're feeling the energy of the singers, the energy of the orchestra, the energy of the conductor. It's going to be really spectacular.
I was properly scolded by Leanne, who said, "Don't reveal the secrets." commented.
Hey.
So she doesn't want me asking those questions, so I won't. But,
people.
well, but
Yeah,
it's one of those like interpretation things that like you get curious about, because like you can play because of the fact that it's not written in the score. Like any
play around with it. You
any
can change it up.
singer can just make or a director can make those decisions. So it's really interesting because the story is completely different based on something that's not written there.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, people can have a whole new interpretation each and every single time.
Yes.
And people that have seen these shows a million times are certainly looking forward to seeing it again. But it's also so exciting for people that have never seen these shows. So it's not that, you know, you're not going to know what's going on. You're going to be completely in the story. You know, it's kind of like watching your favorite movie over and over and over and over, or watching a movie at the very first time you've ever seen it, and you're kind of at the edge of your seat. So you know, nothing's given away. And
No, exactly. We still have to go watch it because there's a lot that goes on. There's a lot that goes on. And Leanne probably remembers there is also a third opportunity really
the
I would encourage is the
Festival
Festival on July 1st at the Ting Pavilion. So you've got, activities.
Which is a
community
free
arts.
event.
That's a free event.
a free
The
event.
free concert conducted by Michael Sloan as well, who's been on. So a great event to really kind of begin to get maybe your kids immersed in just the world of music and opera, and you know, in a fun and active way. So you can do all three. You can get yourself really immersed in that, because it's going to be a great lead-in, I think, to the opera that's going to appear, you know, in July.
Exactly, and we also have two other free events, the Kids Fest. So the Wednesday before each of the productions, between 1:30 and 3:30, any kids activity groups, camps, and things like that can come and experience these shows for our final dress rehearsal.
Awesome.
And so,
Fantastic.
you know, we hope that lots of organizations want to sign up for that. They're very invited to sign up for that, and that's a great opportunity for kids to maybe either be in the theater for the first time, or you know, then invite their parents to come back for the performances the next week. So that's certainly free and open for kids, and then this arts festival is we're pairing up also with the Charlottesville Ballet, so they'll be dancing. We're with the Oratorio Society with Michael Salon conducting, and all of these amazing emerging artists. So you had mentioned there were 350 people that auditioned, and we chose the top 15 in the whole entire world, right? So you're going to hear these voices up close. So you can just walk up to the Ting Pavilion. There's all these wonderful tents that are available, kids face painting, all kinds of things from 5 to 7, and then this great concert will start at 7 o'clock. So to hear opera singers up close singing opera things, also singing musical theater things, watching dancing, hearing orchestra,
introduction.
oratorio. It's a great free event.
July
Absolutely.
1st, don't forget it. Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be a blast. It's gonna be a blast. So before we let you go, where can people find out more information? Get some tickets. Most importantly, if you don't win the giveaway,
We don't win the giveaway.
Yes.
Where can we get
Get
tickets?
some tickets somehow.
Well, right now we have a great little promo going on for Father's Day. So if you buy 2 tickets or more, starting right now through this Sunday, you will get $5 off every ticket that you buy. So that promo is going on right now.
That's awesome.
So you can go to the Paramount Theater website to get tickets, to purchase tickets, but you can also always go to the charlottesvilleopera.org to find out more information about all these different concerts that are happening. We have master classes that are going on, obviously these 2 big other events that are happening, so charlottesvilleopera.org or the Paramount Theater.
Or the Paramount Theater. So many ways. Many ways to get connected and find out more, and so many events. And some of the free events, I think you can do the same thing, charlottesvilleopera.org. You can go and sign up and get more information for the kids fest.
And
So-
Leanne reminded us that RENTS, RENTS, is the code for the discount, so make sure you put in the promo code RENTS for parents.
Right, parents.
Yep, parents.
This is a good one, yeah.
Yes.
I like it.
Caroline, Brian, it's been so fantastic having you on. Thanks so much for joining us this
Thank
morning.
you.
Thank
It's been
you.
fantastic. So
So
we're
we're
going
gonna
to
hold on to
interesting little
Caroline.
song. We're going to hold on to Caroline. Brian is going to
All right.
swap with Josephine here because we
got
are ready
we got the
at
both.
long last. It's been a number of weeks. I mean, all I know is it started while I was out on my honeymoon. I come back and like he says, Nick's like, there's a giveaway I'm doing. I'm like, what? And then he
just-
said, you can't enter. And I said, that's,
Yeah, no, we're
That's
not
disappointing.
allowed to enter. Only the Erpies were not allowed. Everyone else.
everyone else was
And here
allowed
we go. We'll
to
wait
enter.
until
So-
we'll see when Josephine's on the screen. Judah will give us the.
Judah's
okay.
gonna give us, Judah's giving us a thumbs up. So we are
So-
ready to do
The giveaway.
giveaway drawing. So ladies,
Should I go in?
All right, I'll
go
hold.
for it.
That's how you know I'm not cheating.
Got the drum roll, please.
How many names do I pull? One?
Just one.
Just one. One person's gonna win it all.
She's mixing it very well.
Yeah.
No, look,
She's
she's
a good
really,
mixologist.
say-
she's good. She's really giving the drama.
I'm committed.
I know. Who do we got here?
At Mona_Lise_. That's an awesome
Oh,
Instagram
Mona
name.
Lisa. Okay,
Mona Lisa.
Mona Lisa, you just won.
Congratulations.
Two.
You-
Well, you wait. Well, hold on. Let me
That's
get the
an
full.
awesome Instagram
That
name.
is the. I had a lot of fun writing that down. So you just won 2 VIP tickets to Castle Hill Cider 231 Fest, 2 $65 tickets to Charlottesville Opera's Guys and Dolls, and because of the way the promo works, you can go to any of the 3 performances. A $100 gift card to a participating downtown mall business as courtesy Friends of Seaville. $50 gift card to Guajiro Seaville, thanks to Matias Young Realty. $50 to Auto Seaville, courtesy of Matias Young Realty. A bag of coffee and 2 cafes from Taiga Pura Vida Coffee, from our friend Taina Fayez Castro. A summer bouquet by Flower Girl Seaville, and 2 pizzas and 2 free drinks from Popito's Pizza.
And if you need a friend to come with you, my Instagram is @realjosephina. Oh my God, that's a lot of
It's
stuff.
just a lot
That is
of
a
stuff.
lot
It's
of
very-
stuff. So
it's
congratulations,
fantastic. Congratulations.
Mona
We will
Lisa.
reach out. I think we're going to reach out to
Oh,
you.
I will reach out to her through the Today Mañana page, and we will get you all the stuff you need. But
Awesome.
congratulations.
And thank you to everyone who participated. Thanks for the amazing. Thanks Charles Lava and Tassel Hill for the great
great giveaways.
our 2 top things there for the giveaway.
Yeah,
Really
those are
appreciate
amazing.
it.
Those are
It's
amazing.
It's amazing. Well, this has been so fantastic. So
fun.
thanks
So
so
much
much
fun.
for being with us today. Thanks to everyone who came. Thanks to everyone who watched the show today. It was just all your comments, your questions. They're fantastic. We really love them. And just be sure to check out this weekend, June 10th, 231 Fest, Castle Hill Cider. June 23rd, 24th, 25th, Guys and Dolls. July 1st is the festival at Ting Pavilion, and July 14th and 16th is Tosca. So be sure to check all of those things out, charlottesvilleopera.org, castlehillcider.com, 231fest.com as well. So next week's going to be fantastic as well. We're going to have Valerie Hill, local
engineer.
business, structural engineer, as well as Emily Harpster from Sugar Bear Seaville is going to be joining us. Always love being here, really appreciate it. This is great. Well done, well done.
When the opera and Castle are on, Xavier
Nick
gets
is-
the boot. And
exactly, yeah.
I
It's a-
schedule. So
Yeah,
I
I
schedule
looked because
myself.
we have like a firm schedule thing, so I'm looking at it, I'm like, I see Nick has placed himself on. I don't even need to like then check the guest
All
list. I'm like,
caps,
some
extra large
combination
font,
of Charlottesville
everything.
Opera and/or Castle Sutter are on if Nick has put himself
I
on
love
the show
that.
schedule.
I love that.
So it's fantastic. Thanks to everyone who watched today. Thanks Judah behind the camera. I know we did a lot of switching on him today, but he makes us all
Thank
look
you,
good.
Judah.
So he's a master of that. Of course, thanks Emergent Financial Services for presenting. Thank you to our amazing partners, Charlottesville Opera, Castle Hill Cider, Matias Young Realty, Credit, Sirius Insurance, Forward, Adelante. Thank you, our audience, for joining us. Thank you, Nick, for co-hosting with me today. We look forward to seeing you all next week. But until that time, as we say, hasta mañana. All right, great show.
That was
Such a
wonderful,
good-
guys.
That was a blast.
I'm never gonna get over this